Yo, welcome back or welcome to the channel. This is Toru. I'm a music producer based in Portland, Oregon, and I make music for that space between the dance floor and the bedroom. Today we're gonna break down one of my songs, Hold Please. I'm gonna crack open my Ableton Live set and show you how this was put together. If you've already heard Hold Please, thank you so much for listening, and if you haven't, I invite you to check it out. It's now streaming on all platforms. No matter what you're going through, I hope that this video inspires you in some way. And without further ado, let's get into it. I'm here to talk spreadsheets. Hit me up. Okay, so here's my Ableton Live set for Hold Please. Let's jump in and take a look at what's inside. So these first 6 tracks here that you can see in gray are all swells and crashes. As usual, all these red tracks are drums. These pink tracks are percussion elements or extensions of the drum kit. Both of these blue tracks are bass parts. Whatever color this is, the next 4 tracks after this are synth parts. These 3 white tracks are vocal samples. And this last group of pinkish purplish tracks are just synths. Some that I played and some are samples. And this green track is a guitar sample. God damn, that's bright. I don't know how y'all do this. So the fuel of this song is 4 chords played on these 2 synths. The first synth is sort of this vibraphone sound. And so by adding the string synth on top, so let's check what they sound like together. Why did I stack these synths up? One helps cut through the mix and the other one kind of helps fill out some body. So next we have these 3 percussion parts that come in. The first is just some atmosphere background noise. The second is a clave. And the third, it's important to feel the shaker. And after we add some swells to help introduce the track. So when we combine those synths with the percussion and the swells, we get an intro that sounds like this. After the intro, I bring in the drums, and there's a kick, a snare, a clap, a hat loop, and then another hat loop that I sliced to MIDI and resequenced. Sometimes I like to put multiple hi-hat loops together to just create a little bit more texture. We have 2 bass parts. The first is actually a sub that just accents each chord change. And the other bass part is that Tyro N6 boogie bass, which I've talked about in other videos. I love it. It's completely free. Definitely recommend you check it out. So in terms of how I'm processing the bass, you can see that I'm using the RC20, the EQ8, R bass, chorus, some more saturation, and then I'm sidechaining to the kick and the snare. In the A section, you can see I introduced another synth also played on the Tyrell. And these other 2 synth parts were actually played on the Tyrell, but instead of using what I played, I actually manually sliced them up. I really dig these little parts, and I think they're important because they create a little bit of rhythm and movement in what's otherwise a progression of whole notes. So to illustrate the effect of these parts that I manually sliced and put into the progression, let's listen without. And then with. Personally, I think the progression's not the same without them, but let me know what you think in the comments. So as the song progresses, I add in another layer of synth to play the 4 main chords. A few more ear candy accent pieces are introduced. One are these bells. Here's like a guitar picking sample. I also used the same sample but reversed it. And then I took a guitar sample and reversed it. So before it sounded like this. And then after reversing it, and then I found this sample. I'm not even sure what it is. It may be a synth or a voice that's been distorted, but I used it more as a percussive element here. So, fire truck. Ow. So now that we have all those elements in the mix, so next we bring in these little modular bleeps and bloops, and listen, you'll notice that they're a little bit more left and right. So here's the first one. Here's the second one. And then there are 3 new vocal samples that come in and help create this call and response. Vocal number 1, vocal sample number 2, and vocal sample number 3. So now let's listen to just the synth, the electronic elements, and all the vocals together. And then bring back the drums, percussion, and bass. So the song has a section that winds down where basically everything continues but the drums drop out. So it sort of just creates this mellow section with a little bit of anticipation. And we build it back up by stacking up 2 different claps. Here's one, and here's another clap. And then the swells from the intro come back along with one new one. And so let's hear that transition in context. On the other side, we throw in some crashes. So that's it for Hold Please. Show your love for this video by hitting that like button and subscribing to this channel. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next video. If you've already heard Hold Please, now's a great time to run it back. And if you haven't, I invite you to check it out. Again, it's now streaming on all platforms. Pay what you want on Bandcamp. Follow me on Instagram and Twitch at ToruBeat. I'll link all of this in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. This has been Toru, and in a way, so are you. Peace.